A very good evening to our viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Evening Review. My name is Toyibon Jabela, your host. Tonight we are joined on the platform by Walter Haseb and Jorro Eiseb. They are both senior traditional councillors for the Khomanin Traditional Authority. I hope I won with a click.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, councillors, for coming on the platform.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming. I think I'll start with you, Walter. I think there are issues within the concerns within your community. One of them is communal land or lack of it for your community. If you can perhaps kickstart this conversation with that aspect.
Good evening, Sir Trevor. Thank you for having me and my colleague here at the evening show review.
Yes.
We are honored to be here.
Thank you very much.
Yes, once again, the Khomanin traditional community history is out in public.
Yeah.
We are the original inhabitants of the Khomas high grounds. So before independence, first we had a challenge in terms of the traditional wars that were there between the Damaras and the Namas and the Oshierero. And as a result, because of the advantage of the weapons that they had, the Khomanin traditional community had to be moved up to the Khomas highland, where the mountains, forcefully, where the mountains are. And then the regime, South African minority regime, has taken over from the Germans. And then the Khomanin traditional community, who has been residing in the Danfeljun area in the 60s with the Odendal plan, has been forcefully removed. And in the process of us being forcefully removed and be replaced and allocated different areas like Sores and them, we have lost a lot of livestock, we have lost our habitat, and we have lost animals that we have, the domesticated animals and so on, because we were informed that we must be moved on a very short notice. We have the necessary records and the necessary documentation. Immediately after independence, our people have come back to the ancestral land. And before I go to the return of the Khomanin to the Khomas Island, where they have been forcefully removed, the person that has forcefully removed us was the then administrator, Dan Viljoen. And after removing us from the Dan Viljoen area, up to today, the nature reserve is having his name. And it is very painful for the Khomanin traditional community up to today, up to 33 years after independence, for us, whenever we are passing, to see that the person that has forcefully removed a traditional community from their ancestral land is still enjoying that heroic status of a game reserve being named after him. Coming back to the return, fast forward after 1990, our people have come back to their ancestral land and have come in front of the Dan Viljoen gates and roads to Dan Viljoen from Windhoek. We have engagements with senior government officials. Then the Minister of Agriculture, at that time, then the current minister was the permanent secretary of the Agricultural Ministry until he was promoted to be the permanent secretary of finance, became a minister of finance, and now the minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Honorable Karis Ledwin. So he is having the total history in terms of what is the need of the Khomanin traditional community. In opposed to all the other traditional authorities, the Khomanin traditional community are currently crying out for not having a communal land. And what are the causes of that? Why are we not having communal land? We have followed all the procedures that is needed. Even the recommendations of the latest Presidential Commission on Ancestral Land has made recommendations that the Khomanin traditional community must be considered for a communal land. We have taken this route going through the governor of the Khomas, Honorable McLeod. We have discussed this issue. It's a known issue. We have asked her to put it on the agenda for discussion. We have taken the matter up with the Honorable Minister of Urban and Water Rural Development. We have taken up the issue with the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform. And then last year, July, we have visited the State House, where we have outlined the challenges that we are facing as a traditional community. We have given them 20 paper page, giving them the challenges that we are having. Mind you, as a traditional authority, we are seated at the selected places that I like to call concentration camps. Because why am I referring them as a concentration camp? When I'm talking about these issues, actually I'm crying out, you see, because I'm talking on behalf of the traditional community that is voiceless. I'm talking about the women and children that are sleeping in the streets. Women and children that do not have nothing to eat today and tomorrow. I'm talking about...
Thank you, Walter. Sorry for stopping you there. I think you've laid the ground very well. Let me bring in Mr. Eiseb quickly. So the idea, Mr. Eiseb, of... because again, it's good that Walter says that you've been to State House also to speak to the President, because we know that the President has publicly commented a lot about ancestral land, and he doesn't support that concept itself. The last time we checked, unless maybe you guys convinced him otherwise, but ideally, how should this land be reclaimed? Because I suppose the land around Khomas now, a lot of it, like Walter said, some of it has been converted into a conservancy and all these kind of things. How do we navigate our way to make sure that that land is then availed to the people to live there, your community?
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah, the land, reclaim of the land, so to say. It's a daunting task. Because let me just highlight two things. We are of the Khomanin, and the Khomanin jurisdiction is going as far as the Khomas political region is running. We do have our people north of Windhoek, west, we do have them in the south, and we have them in the east. Now, all those people, there's no communal land. But we, the Khomanin people, say we have land that is just in the hands of others. And we have been dispossessed of our land. We have been displaced in other areas that as we are still fleeing. That's what the headman was alluding to as concentration camps. The Khomanin people are still busy fleeing. We are living a nomadic life. Now you can see even the street kids. Those are Khomanin, all of them. They are in their own place. They had no place to sleep. Like the reclaimant, we will come to that point. But now, right now, people have been taken out of Windhoek. They are losing their houses that they have here. And then it became a traditional authorities problem. We do not have land where to put them, but still also the whites are chasing out the people from their farmlands. People are ending up in corridors and in that lines. We do have land. We are asking just the government to give our land back to us. So now, by now, we are feeling strangled because the municipality had also fled its wings to the east. Its boundaries had been widened. It's going to the west. Groothoop down in south to Banhof, close to Rehoboth. And it goes around Dordabes and so on, and it comes. You can come now to the west, very far. It is almost reaching Uchimbingwe, this side of the Chwakop River, the Swakop River. You can go up to the north, it's going close by to Oganya, and with the Oches and Juba region there. So the municipality had go out that way. So it is all the places that our people were farming. They were farmers. So now the farms, those ones also, that little land they have belongs now to the municipality.
And that is where I need a bit of clarity now that you've provided proper context, that because that land seems to be occupied now. So what are you proposing to government? Must they buy it? Must they buy out these people? Must the municipality stop expanding and allow that area to remain communal, for example? What is the solution there?
The solution number one is, if we come, the Khomanin people, with a problem, we already have a solution for that as well. We just don't come and cry out. So we said, we do have land that is in the hands of others that are also fellow Namibians by that matter, for us to stand together, because the willing buyer, willing seller thing of the government does not work. Yes. And the people wants to milk the government dry. 8 million farm will come up as a 30 million farm and so on, and make unbearable for the government to buy those farms. Now for us, it's just, of course the government must buy what they have. Remember, we are allocated to certain areas where our people are, like our settlement is in Arofley. We've been given that place legally to put up our offices to do what. But still it is not in our hands. It's still an empty promise that is coming. All our addresses is on that thing, it is Arofley. Our people are sitting there, but we cannot still say proudly, this is our place. We've been promised, we'll give you, we'll buy those areas the job people are sitting on. But still to date, nothing.
Walter, if you want to add something quickly, just 1 minute before you go for a break.
Look, we are of the opinion that the government is exercising targeted discrimination against the Khomanin traditional community, simply for the reason that if you look at where our people are staying, for example, our people cannot even access the graves of our ancestors. The graveyards are being locked up. They are on private land. If you look at the solutions in terms of other traditional authorities who did not have land, the government went out and bought farms for those traditional communities. Government went out so far even to go and buy farms and give it to other Namibians that were outside of the boundaries of the Namibia. But yet, when it comes to the Namibian, when it comes to the Khomanin traditional community, there is a targeted discrimination that is being practiced by the Namibian government. We do not even have a place to practice our customs, traditions and norms, because probably the intent is for the Khomanin traditional community to be extinct. You see, the reason why we are saying this, for example, if you look at various scenarios where our people are, if we look at in terms of the resettlement program that needs to be looked at, we have, as the senior traditional councillor has alluded to, came up with suggestions and recommendations in the 20-page paper to the State House, whereby we have said, can we sit on a round table and discuss these issues? Because when you are going to the governor, it's no, it's not my mandate. If you go to the Minister of Agriculture, he will tell you it's not his mandate, it's the mandate of the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development. We have been asked by the State House to go and get a petition so that the status of the Grotto must be changed. We did not have an answer up to now. We went to the highest office in the government, and up to today, a year down the train, we did not even receive a recognition letter, acknowledgement letter to say, no, we have listened to you, we have seen the newspaper articles, whereby His Excellency said he is paying and we are the owners of his land. We do not even have an office. We do not even have a office. We do not have, like, if you go to other traditional authorities, government is investing in the other traditional authorities to build for them offices, to build for them halls where they can meet with their community members and other infrastructural development. Our community members cannot even partake in the government national programs because they have been told they cannot partake because we do not have communal land. And communal land is not by choice. It's by the system that it has been created.
I hear you. We go for a quick break and then return with the senior traditional councillors.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with the entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news. Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
as well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Our conversation with the senior traditional councillors of the Khomanin Traditional Authority continues. Now, Mr. Eiseb, this resettlement program of the government, how is your community benefiting from that scheme?
Yes, my community, the Khomanin, does not benefit at all from that. Let me rather start back also. In the resettlement, there is a package that is coming. Perhaps what is are we deprived on also is the brands. Cannot even have an ear tag because you are never appearing, because when you apply for the resettlement program, it has been made so hard. It's a daunting task to fill in that form. So for us, the Khomanin, the questions that is arising there: where have you found? What has caused you to move to come and apply for this? We are non-starters on that, because we are concerned and condoned by people as we do not have livelihood. We do not have doing animal husbandry or crop or whatever it is, because we do not have land. We are not in a land board that we are serving. We do not have a conservancy, something that we would say we do want to be something that we should have qualified for to be placed in the resettlement thing. So, but right now we are not benefiting at all from that resettlement.
A quick follow-up again to you still, Mr. Eiseb. So before the break, you spoke briefly about something that a lot of us in this country are scared of talking about, but it's good that you brought it up yourself.
Yes.
And that is about the kids, the street kids.
Yes.
And a lot of people of your community that are living under the bridges, especially in the Khomas area here.
Yes.
If you can link it properly, because you seem to suggest that it's a result of the very problem that you're discussing here.
Yeah. Yes, we've been having another platform where officials, the high-ranked officers of the government were there when the street kid saga became a rife thing, and it became an uncontrolled thing. It's like came like wildfire. Some of the high-rank officers would stand up and say, advise us to what can we do with the kids. We've been told if our kids are becoming like that, we are taking them back home to the north. And my answer was just, yeah, but where should we take this? Because they are in Khomas, they are Khomanin, they belong here. So there's no other place that we have that when we are feeling suppressed and oppressed by all those things, can take our people to. So with those children, they are ours. We were even pleading that time with the police by saying, don't chase them from the robots, because many of them were bumped by cars, they ran over. If they lay down there, dead or injured badly, it became our problem. Those people are our problem, like all the people that are chased out by the whites and right now are sitting also in the corridors, like they are become our people, those street kids. And just one add-on. When the 10 farms had been bought by a Russian somebody, right on the brink of Second Land Conference, people had become now, because they came to us with that people and say, you must take out your people. But where should we take them? So we remain with the people, and they were kids. And some of those kids today are there. They are add-ons, because we ourselves, we cannot really, where must we take them? We had many that we take care of. And themselves also is running away from such places that we place them and try to bring them out of that hardship. So, yeah.
Because, I mean, we saw, I think it was in December last year, a number of them died in the floods, remember?
Yes.
That was a it was a big tragedy. And if these things are connected, obviously, to what you are saying, then there's an injustice that we are doing to an entire community there of the Khomanin. Walter, so You were speaking about how your traditional authority is not treated the same way as others, not very much only in terms of the jurisdiction, but in terms of the infrastructure and stuff like that. So the traditional authority is recognized by government, is registered?
Yes, it is.
You have a 4x4 that has been given to everybody?
Yeah, the old vehicle.
The old vehicle.
Yeah. Which is broken down for now, even for that matter. So, yeah, but you see, I need to make it very categorically clear, and I want to make it on the record, that the current government is busy with a systematic discrimination against the Khomanin traditional community, with the intent probably for us to be extended. Why am I saying that? For example, mind you, a traditional authority that is recognized is asking and pleading just to give our people earmarks and brand marks.
For animals?
For animals. It's a no-go by the Ministry of Agriculture.
What is their reason?
Their reasoning is because we do not have communal land. And why don't we have communal land? Because they do not want to give us communal land. They are the ones who is overseeing the land reform. Our government is refusing us and is having a court order for our people to visit graveyards, our ancestral graveyards, yet they have found us there. Our government, for that matter, is refusing to look into the matter of the landlessness of the Khomanin traditional community, in opposed that whereas there were other traditional communities after the independence who did not have land, government went out and bought land for those traditional authorities. Government went out and take a unilateral decision, while as we are pleading, looking for land and to give it to the people that are coming outside of the country. You see, the principle is wrong. The government, for that matter, is sending junior staff members to engage with our queen, while as it is a non-starter when it comes to the traditional authorities of other traditional communities. Then you will send somebody on a ministerial level to discuss issues with the chief. But when it comes to the Khomanin traditional authority, a junior staff member on the level of a messenger or a clerk or a chief clerk is being sent to have a discussion on the issues mattering of the traditional community with Her Majesty. Our Queen is asking, begging for that matter, to see a Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform for 6 months. She does not receive an acknowledgement letter where she has been requested for a meeting, nor does she not being afforded an opportunity. Whereas she is even committed to go and to the minister's office, whereas other traditional chiefs and traditional kings are summoning members of the cabinet to come and see them. So there is a targeted discrimination against the Khomanin traditional community.
Wonderful. As we head towards the closure, gentlemen, I don't know whether it's Walter or Tate Eiseb who can just give us a sense of this, a peaceful demonstration being lined up. Some details about that.
Yes, thank you, sir. The peaceful demonstration, we will have it on the 20th of this month, the 20th of September. We are planning that, and all the communications will be done with the inline entities that is supposed to know. It is supposed to have the know-how of this peaceful demonstration. The headline of that demonstration is just a peaceful but very much mindful demonstration. A demonstration whereby we will march, we will gather there down in nearby the forensic lab there. If we come from Simon David Bridge, we will gather 8 o'clock there. We will engage all our people that are right around the Khomas, the Khomanin. Our attire for that day will be green and white, because the Khomanin and the Khomanin are wearing green and white, and our theme is, when we are green and white, it means we are in expectation. It doesn't mean that, but we have peace with the white one. We will wear that green and white that day, and then we will invite the blue and white flags, all the other Damara clans that are there, will also join us in their blue and white attire. Very peaceful. It will not be a cumbersome issue.
Okay.
We will not make it without any animosity there. But we will march and hand over a planned petition to the Vice President's office. Why the Vice President's office? The President of this country, the Republic of Namibia, had then, in our presence, instructed the Vice President to look into all our cries and pleas and prayers. So we have been referring to him, but as he is alluding to, it has now become a year down the line since we had to hear anything. So that had shown us we feel strangled. The issues are we cannot even put the people no more in. There's no space in Grootfontein.
Yeah.
There's no space in Karogas. There's no space in Naosport. We do not know where to take our people to anymore. And there is a red force or something here in Windhoek that is chasing out all the elderly people and what have we. So we do have a problem, serious one. That's why we want to come this time around now and just to give a petition and see and give also a timeline of 10 days, 10 days before we are having answer. And if we haven't heard anything about that, after that 10 days immediately, then we will take out, embark on another avenue and see we can take another vein through which our blood could carry through to the other side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Loud and clear, gentlemen. Thank you for coming, Walter.
Yeah.
And Jorro Eiseb, thank you for making time.
That's
Yeah,
right.
thank you very
Thank you for having us. also.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
That is tonight's show with the senior traditional councillors for the Khomanin Traditional Authority. Thank you for watching.